So we're going to start the recording now. This is Vince with Listings to Leads. This is our Facebook advertising call. And my question to everybody on the call today is, have you run ads? And have you had success with ads? Because there's some basics of like how to run ads. We cover it every week. Um, and there's always there's two sides, of the camp. There are folks that get a bunch of leads, and there are people that get no leads. And I always like to find out who's on the call. Are you getting leads? And if you're not, kind of tell me what you're doing and let's solve those issues because we know this works. It works across the country. It's been working since Facebook has had advertising, which has been about since the time that it became a public company, which wasn't long ago, about 3 years ago. And we want to help you make sure that this works for you. So let's see here. I join. Okay, so let's see the responses. Okay, I ran it before some leads came in. Okay, great. Okay, ran it before leads came in. Okay, second week in trial, no paid ads, just group ads. Beginning to see some results. Okay, and then join the free trial. Have not run ads. Have a bit of a problem creating ads. Okay, maybe we can help you with that today. Couple of months from Lisa. Ran ads, no success. Would really like to take what trying to do today. Okay, trying the program. Just recently joined again. Kevin, good. I've been 2 weeks. I've run ads not consistent enough. That being said, I know others are successful. Yeah, being consistent really works really well. Oh, here's Barb. Deep diving newbie. Yeah, lots of partials. No response to date to follow up response off the cliff starting in June, but have gotten around 15 partials a week. I've been on L2L for about a month since joining MVP. Welcome, Doreen. I was in your offices doing trainings for your office when we set it up. Haven't attended a webinar and have entered about 4 listings. Not clear how the system pushes my listings to social media. It doesn't push them to social media, Doreen. You do. Lisa Stanley, a look. Not sure what that means. Place Facebook ads regularly and did place in Ohio. I passed. Had 3 attendees due to the ad. Oh, open house, not Ohio. That's good. That's small for getting 3 attendees due to the ad. That's a low number, but there's a lot of things. There are a number of tools on the open house, and you should use them all. Not any success from Bob Stye, and tried a few ads, but no leads. Okay. All right. So that's good. I'm glad you're on the call then. Before we get into the system, I want you to know where to look for help because running an ad is pretty simple. We're going to run a couple ads today. And, that sort of click here, copy here, paste here, that stuff is simple. What is not so simple and what separates people from getting a lot of leads and getting no leads is usually a couple of things. One is you're running ads on mobile, and depending what type of ad you're running, you're shooting yourself in the foot. The other is how you write the ad and what you put in the ad. So here, this is where we log in at Listings to Leads. What most of you don't know is you can scroll down and there's a blog, and we collate and grab a lot of information from our mastermind group here. And I'm going to click on the first one, and why I want to point it out is here is a great way of creating an ad that works really effectively. You can read the ad here. You can see how to pull this picture or this graphic here. And this is just a very solid working ad. I don't know what you're doing to run your ads, but this is just a really helpful idea. You can also scroll down. I like to go to this other one that's, if you go to the bottom, we have all of our blog posts here. There is one that says, I think 31 seller leads in 2 days. And this one is really easy to grasp for people, so I always point it out. And it says something like this in the ad: 360 homes sold in Frisco in June. The highest price was this. Now see what your home is worth free, right? And then you target your area, target your zip code, right? So our clients are constantly sharing great information. And you're wise to take advantage of it, because if you have to think of this you're on your own, well, if you're an awesome ad writer, knock yourself out. If you're not, we've got the best tools to help you get leads, but again, you've got to you got to do it in the right way. So that's why I really point out this blog, because that's a great resource. So let's look over here. I see some more questions. Bob, few partials, but nothing turned out. Not a success. Yeah, try. Okay, yeah. So that's more of the same stuff. So let's log in and let's talk about Facebook advertising. First of all, if you're not really sold on Facebook, or you're not really familiar with Facebook, a lot of realtors, you know, the average realtor, I think the median age is 52. I speak to realtors, obviously, a lot. And I'd say 25% easily, maybe 50% are just like, I don't like Facebook. I don't like looking at cats, and I don't like posting stuff and this and that. But what you should know is 71% of adults in the United States are on Facebook, spending on average 40 to 50 minutes every day. Okay? The only place I think people are at a longer amount of time on a daily basis is television, and that ad spend is high. Okay? So here on Facebook, you can control that cost. Typically, our clients are getting great leads, and the return on that investment is significant enough for people to continue to do it and to add more money to Facebook to get more leads. So I do want you to keep that all in mind. And so back to the resource part, Facebook advertising, there's a green button right here. There's some really helpful information on this page. Right here, number 2, how to run an ad. We're going to run an ad together, but that's Scott's, you know, vision of how you run an ad, and it's good. It's a little complicated, but this right here talks about some of the core tools that you want to use when you're running, you know, Facebook ads. So that's right there when you log in, Facebook advertising. Okay. See another question here. Let's take that. Nowhere else to get this kind of ad placement at this cost. I used to hate Facebook. Now I'm a convert. Good, Barb. Yeah, good. I'm glad. Yeah, there is no place. Google AdWords, these tools work on Google too. Just a higher cost for that. They have a different pricing structure. But here, boy, you can target really incredibly well. So back to the resources before we get started. Click to join the Mastermind group. All of you must join this Mastermind group. When you click it for the first time, there'll be a button over here to the right. It says join group, and click that, and Scott or myself will add you to the group. But I think I opened this page before we got on the call, and I wanted to point out something. And that is this right here. So our Mastermind group, the reason why I want you to join our Mastermind group is our clients are here, right? And people who were thinking of becoming clients are here. But our clients, I think more than any other real estate group in Facebook, are sharing a lot of ideas and a lot of tips. And this one right here from Patrick is a video on how to make one of those cool maps, right? So when I showed you our blog, and I showed you an ad that looked like this, let me click the back button, see if I can get there for you real quick. Up here at the top, you see this 20 plus seller leads in 1.5 days. You see this map? You know, this is a little bit, it's not easy to make. And so the instructions on how to do that, of course, one of our clients just creates a video. Hey, here's how you do it. Come here and watch. I also want to point out a couple of other things in the Mastermind group that are here right now. Okay. Here's something from Neil Wolf, who actually somebody who's here from MVP, and I have known Neil for years. It's a big reason why MVP is using our platform now. And notice what he's written in purple. With new landing pages, last 7 days, 58 views, 29 click-throughs, 0 cost. Okay, so what on the world is that this guy is using landing pages and getting no cost? Well, he's putting them out there, and if you look in this Mastermind group, for days he's been showing us just the custom landing pages he's creating. Okay, I'll show you the landing page section. You can create your own ideas. And he's just putting a lot of ideas out there. Because guess what, everybody? I'm sure you've probably come to us because you heard about our awesome home value landing pages. We are not the only company with property valuation landing pages. And we didn't invent the concept. And there are other agents competing against you probably in your market in Facebook with property valuation landing pages. So if you're just going out with that, I hope it works for you just fantastically. But Neil has been generating leads with us and generates on average 500 leads every month. And so he's going to the next level and saying, I'm just going to do some custom work. I'm going to create custom landing pages. I'm going to put them out there. I'm not even going to put spend on it. People are just going to see them and respond. And that's what he's saying there. So if you get in his mastermind group, he's for days been posting what those things look like. Here is Karen. And this is, again, that kind of post in our mastermind group of her saying, hey, I ran this for 2 days and got 13 leads so far. Shows you exactly what she wrote, right? And that's really the key. It's what's the picture and what is the language? If you don't, here's one of Neil Wolf's deals here. Sitting on the fence watching the market go by. You get it, right? He's just sort of thinking outside the box. And you know, you probably don't know this about listings to leads. We've been around for 8 years and we have been building tools that long. And it is, I'm pretty sure almost at least every 2 months, somebody comes back and says, hey, I took your tool and I did this with it. Not what we were ever planning for them to do with it. And they figure out how to get more leads from our tools. And then we're like, awesome, let's train, let's share that information. And the point is, information is flowing in this mastermind group. You got access to the tools. I'm going to give you a little bit of the strategy. We're going to walk through it. But boy, if you want to really master Facebook, which you should, since 71% of adults are there for 40 minutes a day, get in our mastermind group, and that's going to help you immensely. The thing that brings people to us, number one, is probably this page right here, Property Valuation Plus. Okay? And Property Valuation Plus looks like this. And, you know, it's what is your home worth, right? And we'll get into this. You type in your address. It gives you a confirmation page. Is that your home? Yes. And then it says, great. Well, we've got your valuation. Give us your contact info. This is the number one tool that people are hearing about, that are getting success with. And it's on our landing page section, right? So I'm going to talk about that, but I'm not going to talk about that right now because I think that there's something missing. And somebody mentioned the concept of consistency, right? She's like, yeah, I've run a couple ads, but I'm not consistent. And that's a big part of it. And a big part of what we do at Listings to Leads, and I think why our top producers, meaning our clients who get the most amount of leads, usually follow not just getting that page up online, but building a brand online. Okay, and you do that by going to the listings page. So I'm going to give you that story first so that it starts to make some sense to you what it is you're trying to achieve and how to achieve it. I see some questions coming in. If you got questions, now would be a good time. That was me. Yes, Catherine, that was you. Correct. Yeah. Okay. So this is the listings page, and you may be new to us, and certainly a lot of people come to us who are brand new to the space. They have no listings, and they're trying to build up a business. You can borrow listings and put them in your account, okay? Most offices will allow you to do that. Most MLSs will allow you to do that. And what you want to do is tell your market, hey, I am associated to homes that are just listed, to open houses, to homes that just sold. Okay. And the reason why you want to do that is, in the end, you want to also tell people, hey, let me get your home value. Let me help you get a home value. But if you just sort of lob that out there every once or twice a month, well, that's just random information, right? But if you actually say, well, I'm going to borrow some listings, or I'm going to take my own listings, or I'm going to take my office listings, and I'm going to get them in my account, I'm going to brand with this to let everybody know I'm a professional. Okay? So I've got a home here that's just listed. The two great tools, the two top tools to use that many of our clients use, are the single property website, which is this red column of this column of red buttons with white houses, and the listing landing page. All right. And you can click this, and this opens up a single property website. All right. It's a good looking tool. It's going to have the home. If you got a video in there, it'll show you the video. It's going to have lead generation links on the left, and it's going to have an automatic pop-up page, right? But what we want to do is get this in front of the market. Now, I want to also point out, before we even do that, that there's a column over here of red acronyms. This means coming soon, for lease, just listed, just sold, pending. This is all good stuff to tell the market, hey, I've got things going on. I am sort of, there's a lot of things that happen in real estate. For a few bucks, we can tell people, hey, something's just listed. This home is just listed. Okay? So now that we've got this ready, let's go run an ad. There's a hyperlink at the top. Copy it. Then go over to Facebook. All right? And over here on the top, now for you realtors that are on the call that are like most realtors and distracted all the time, now's the time to watch. There's a navigation bar at the top of Facebook. There's a purple triangle. Click that and open to the menu and go to create ads. Take a sip of coffee. My phone is running nonstop. Okay, so this is telling me where I left off because I was running an ad before, and I'm going to start over. So you should sort of go like this. Now you need to understand a couple of things, and I'd like you to think of running ads on Facebook and your strategy of building your business on Facebook with branding and seller lead gen. These are the two kinds of pieces of your strategy. Branding and seller lead gen, okay? Now we're doing a branding ad. We are telling the market, hey, there's something just listed. Here's an open house. Here's a virtual tour. Here's a home under contract. Here's something just sold. We just want to tell the market we're a professional, all right? And I'm going to do it in my neighborhood of Lafayette. So I'm here. So when we're doing a branding ad, we want to do that with this consideration. There's a consideration column right here. There's either traffic or there's lead gen. I recommend when you're doing branding to click lead generation. When you're trying to get sellers, you use traffic. Okay, this is the difference, and this is why you got to pay attention. Give it a campaign name. I'm going to say JL for just listed, and I'm going to say Laffy, right, for Lafayette, and I'm going to say it's June something. Is it 20th? Days are flying by. Anyway, this campaign name nobody sees but you. And as Catherine mentioned, you got to get consistent, which means that in the course of a month, you should probably have at least 8 ads. They're not all running at the same time, but they will run, and you want to start to recognize what's getting more clicks, what's getting more views, what are people responding to? Is it the picture? Is it my language? Is it open houses? Is it just sold? You need to know that, and that's how you put that's why you put a campaign name. So I'm going to do that. And this is a good time to load up on your questions. I see them there. And you got to choose your page here. I've got a few pages. Put it on your real estate page. And here is the power if you're not familiar with Facebook. I am trying to brand, let people know that I have a home for sale in Lafayette. It's in Lafayette. So here is something that you got to think about. And this is the difference from seller and branding. Seller, lead gen, and branding. First difference is you want to have some sort of radius when you're branding. Maybe 10 miles. I'm just going to change it to 10 miles. Some of you live in more, not dense areas. So maybe it's 25 miles or maybe it's 50 miles. But for me, for this example, I'm going to say, hey, 10 miles. I want everybody 10 miles away to know, because I would certainly help somebody in Danville and Concord and Walnut Creek and Berkeley and stuff like that. You probably want to put an age bracket, some minimum age. I'm just going to put 27. And notice that it says, hey, the estimated daily reach is about 1,800 to 7,000 people. So let's just say 4,000 people every day. All right. There are things like demographics. I don't actually I don't recommend using them. But some people do, especially if you're living in one of those areas where snowbirds fly in back and forth. That can be very helpful to say, I like people who like Florida, but live in Illinois or New York or something like that. Now, here's the other big difference, and this is a big difference, so you got to pay attention. We're branding, and so edit placements, you can say all devices. This is the default, but when you're branding, all devices makes good sense. And that means that this ad's going to show up on mobile. And you know, when people are standing in line getting their coffee, when they're sitting on a webinar like you right now, some of you are looking at your Facebook thing on your phone right now, right? They're driving your car and you're looking at Facebook on your phone. All that nonsense, that's what it's doing. It's saying, hey, I'm the professional. I got something going on in real estate. So let's take the question now, so in case it's not relevant. Running ads to attract motivated and ready to buy. Okay. Do you suggest posting on the personal? Okay. Lots of good questions. Do I create a new ad each time I try to duplicate an ad once? Lisa, I think you can duplicate. I think you can go to the ad manager and rerun an ad. I don't know how to do it, but I think you can. So I always just go through it. You're noticing that I kind of am explaining everything to you in detail. To run an ad actually takes about 2 minutes. So I don't think that's a huge waste of time, 2 minutes. It's going to take me 5 or 10 because I'm answering questions and showing you in detail what you need to be thinking about. Do you suggest posting on your personal or business page? Also, business with sharing to personal. This is a good question, and I'd like everybody to understand the answer. You cannot run an ad on your personal page. You can copy and paste a link and put it there, and people will see it. Okay? The better question is, should I have it on my business page or should I have it on my community page? And that is a bigger and better question. If you don't know what a community page is, it's very similar to a business page, but for some reason, it tends for some of our clients to have much better effect, much better lead gen. And I showed you one of the blog posts of a guy that's generated 30 leads in 2 days. You'll notice when you read that ad that he put it on his community page. So, Catherine, yeah, you certainly could take the tool and post it, copy and paste it on your personal page, but you can't run an ad on your personal page. You can run an ad from your business page and your community page. What did you choose lead gen over traffic? Sorry, I got lost. Why did I choose lead gen over traffic? Francis, I chose lead gen over traffic because we are trying to brand, still trying to get leads, but we're trying to brand, and there's a very powerful component to getting lead generation when you're looking for buyers. When you're looking for sellers, it's not very powerful to use the lead generation. So we're looking for buyers, so that's when I want to use the Facebook lead gen piece. Don't forget, everybody, I am recording this, and I'm going to put it on my Mastermind group, and you can look at it. Any chance of teaching a couple of tricks and hints on running ads to attract motivated and ready to buy buyer leads regardless cost per lead? Ed, I don't have any tips, but my overall tip is to get in our Mastermind group and read what people are saying. They're talking about this every week, and they got tons of great ideas. Lisa's laughing. Good. You can duplicate. Barb, thank you. You can duplicate, and you get a mess. Recreating is better option. Thanks, Barb. Okay, Ed's responding to this and thinking it's good, so I'm glad to hear that. So let's go back to this. And I'll get to those questions. Feel free to load in the questions. We are looking for buyers right now. We are branding and we're looking for buyers. Ad placement, all devices. That means desktop and mobile. I am on a desktop computer right now, so I'm going to see that ad. If I open my phone, I'm going to see that ad. Here's another big piece, budget and schedule. Every ad you run, change daily budget to lifetime budget. Don't panic, you're not going to pay for life. But what it does is this allows Facebooks to use their algorithms to place the ad at the optimal time when the most people are there, okay? For running a branding ad, I recommend a minimum of $20, okay? You got to pay attention to these little details here. This is really it. Now, I don't know why it went. So I put 20 bucks and it gives me this red message like, what? And here's why. What it's telling you is the minimum ad spend per day is $5. So today is the 20th, right? And let's just say I've got a open house on Friday. So I'm going to click this end date and I'm going to move it back a month because they always push you out a month. And I'm going to say, I'm going to end this on Saturday. Okay. Now you might want to say, hey, this is just listed. So all week long, I want people to be able to see that I've got something just listed. Maybe it's something I want to do for an open house, that sort of thing. And so, or maybe it's a virtual tour and whatever, right? That's what we're trying to do. Click continue from here. And before I click continue, I'm going to answer any questions that might be relevant right here. Do you have to be on Facebook to join Mastermind Group? Yes, you do, Kathleen. You also have to be on Facebook to run a Facebook ad. And this call is about running Facebook ads. I agree with Barb. I duplicated once and ended up deleting, starting. Oh, Sally, good to see you. And thanks for that feedback. Continue. And this is where there's an important piece here. A number of important pieces here. So you gotta focus here. If you're running an ad for the first time, it's going to ask you to go into carousel. It's like the default thing. And we run a lot of ads at Listings to Leads. We have our own VA service. We do this for our clients and stuff like that. And we're I think 100% certain that carousel is just a waste of money. Nothing is happening. Single image ads, as you can see, is highlighted right now, is where it is. Now it's pulled up this because it's kind of running something different. So what I want to do is upload an image. And I'm going to go to desktop. And I'm going to go to, let's just see, I have an image of a house. I'm just going to put this image. It should be, in this case, it should be a house, right? We've got an open house. We've got a just listed, coming soon, something like that. And you upload a picture of a home, right? And that's not a home, but you get the idea. Notice that it's sponsored by Listings to Leads. And for you, it's going to be, why is it giving me that thing there? For you, it's going to be sponsored by you, the professional, right? Now, other thing here is text. Let's just say open house this Saturday from 2 to 5. 2 to 5, right? Whatever, something like that. But the reason I'm pointing this out is what you type in this box shows up above your photo here, okay? And then the headline is, you know, whatever, beautiful home. And when I do that, it changes what's going on down here. And the description is, you know, custom granite kitchen, right? And when I do that, the language underneath shows up, okay? Here is the reason why you want to use lead generation for this kind of ad, for branding. There is a form here, and you'll have to create the new form. You'll notice there's a thing here to create a new form, and you in that form say, what do you want people to give you? I want their email address. So you choose it. I want their full name. I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of grayed out here. And I want their phone number, okay? And you would love that with every ad. With every lead, you would love to get that information. Here is the beauty of Facebook. Facebook has every one of us that's on Facebook, 71% of adults, they have our phone number, they have our email, and they have our full name. So when the person sees this ad and they click on it, it says, would you like this information? And it pre-populates all that information. They don't have to type it in. They just click submit and boom, you've got that lead, okay? This does not work when you're trying to get sellers because the requirement there is different. You'll notice it says sign up. You can also change that to learn more. And that's it. Now, what I want to point out, let's see if we have it here. Okay. I'm going to go back to ad set. Okay, so the estimated daily reach is about 5,000. It's about 1,500. So for 4 days, about 6,000 people are going to see this ad. Okay? And that's really, for 20 bucks, that's pretty awesome. So imagine this, 6,000 people, right? And I run one of these. Let's imagine it this way. You're new to listings to leads. You find our property valuation page. And one day you're like, I'm going to make that page. I'm going to slap that up on Facebook and put in 20 bucks, or I'm going to put in 5 bucks, right? And you get a couple leads, right? And you did that once and maybe twice, and maybe you get 5 or 10 leads from all that, right? But if you start running ads like this, and the first week, 5,000 people recognize you're a realtor. The second week, 5,000 people. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's new people. You keep doing this week after week, people start to get comfortable with your brand. They know you're a professional. Because the next question of, let me give you your home value, is a important question to get a real value, right? But actually, the harder part of this is getting your contact info for homeowners. That is where people want to disappear. So by running branding ads, our clients who continually do this will come back. And I actually had this guy who's not recorded. He's not on any of our big time webinars. He said, Vince, I finally started doing what you're doing, and it took 2 months. And suddenly my ads, my leads were not just filling out forms, they were corresponding with me. They knew I was a professional. This guy was in Phoenix, Arizona. And he's like, yeah, people, they were just seeing those ads that I was running. I was running $20 ads. And I was running the weekend seller property valuation ads. And that started to snowball. And there was just this comfort level of, yeah, I'm going to give you that information. It's a big piece of any kind of branding. And that's why we recommend it. I see some questions here, so let's talk about it. Do you know where the FB leads are going? How do we find them? I think they're emailing them to you. I do not know. Yes. So with lead gen in Facebook, let's click here to answer that question. The objective, if we can see it, this is the first page of running the ad. The 2 options that I recommend, and Barb, I don't know if you ever found that conversion thing. I haven't looked. That normally traffic and lead generation are the 2 options. When you're looking for buyers, use lead gen. We are not driving people to the landing page. We're not driving them to our tool. We're just driving them, we're just showing them a picture of the house. We're capturing the lead in the Facebook platform, and they're going to email it to you. Okay, if I don't use lifetime budget, do you pick times yourself? If Facebook won't pick it? Well, Janice, that's a great question. So, let me just say that. Let's see. Will Masterminds be able to explain community and business page? No, but I will. So, Catherine, if you don't know, if nobody knows what a community page is, you can ask. Certainly, I'm sure a ton of people give you some answers. But it's pretty simple to see the difference. So Janice is asking, if you don't use lifetime budget, do you pick times yourself if Facebook won't pick optimal time? Yes, you can. I think you can. I don't recommend that though, Janice, because I don't know how many millions of people are on Facebook every day, and I don't think you do either. And I don't think you know the optimal times when everybody is there, right? Um, and but you know, these big companies, they're running off of algorithms, tons of data. They know when to place that. And they want to return, they want you to continually spend money. They're not trying to take your money and not give you ads. They're trying to get you, or not give you leads. They're trying to get you leads. So lifetime budget is really where we recommend. We have actually had calls with Facebook staff talking exactly about that piece. If an ad goes incredibly well, would you go back and extend the time frame in order to get more buyer leads? You could, Ed. You could. Yeah, you could. I run ads, and sometimes I do that. So there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know where at Facebook that we answered that one? Could you find the conversation thing again? Looked a lot. I think it was buried. Yeah. Okay. Conversion. I will look. Conversion. Yeah. Trust FB optimization. We can't play the market. Yeah, that's a good point. Thoughts for branding ads which are not connected to current listings. I don't have any thoughts on that. But I just mentioned to you on all of you on this call that Neil Wolf is putting all kinds of landing pages out there, and he's getting all kinds of click-throughs and stuff, and that's a great way to brand too. Can I make an ad to get people to like my page? Yes, you can, Francis. In my mind, that's a great way to waste money. People liking your business page, you need 25 people to like your business page. At that point, I don't think there's any real value for getting more people to like your business page. And here's why. Facebook, you probably know, is a publicly traded company. And when they are talking to their investors on those investor calls that none of us are listening to, okay, so you need a few more people. Yeah, you cannot even run an ad with 14 people, Francis. What Facebook is telling investors is that business pages have a 0 to 6% reach of organic reach. And what that means is if you have 100 people that like your business page and you place anything there, 0 to 6 people will see it. All right? In the old days when they started business pages, they said, hey, put as much stuff as you want, build your business, and it's gonna have such reach. Everybody that likes your page, they're gonna see it. And that was true until it became a public company and they needed to show some revenue on the books. And then they said, guess what? We're going to change that algorithm. Only 0 to 6% of the people will see that. But if you want that reach, you got to pay them. If you need more likes, they can reach out on the Mastermind group and they should get it, and they should get enough. Right. There are people on the Mastermind group who say, hey, would you like my page so I can run ads? And people will certainly help you out there. So that's kind of the Facebook liking stuff kind of thing. So I think that kind of, that answers the branding question stuff. So what we're really after and what most of our clients are after are seller leads, right? So I'm going to go through my landing page and show you how this Property Valuation Plus works. 1595 Heston Road. This page works anywhere in the country as long as the home is residential. The property is residential. It doesn't work with commercial. And when we did this page, what we did is we connected Google Maps. And there, like I mentioned earlier in the call, there are other companies that have similar pages. Many people come to us because they feel like ours work the best. And I think one of the reasons why it works the best is we actually show you a picture of the home, so that the consumer starts to feel like, oh, you know what I'm talking about, right? And it's saying, is this a 3.2 with 1,900 square feet? Yeah, that's right. Okay, then click here if it's correct. And at that point, the next place for people, the next page is, great, we've got your valuation. Give me your contact information to get this. Okay. What you should know is 80% of people, sometimes more, will walk away at this point because they're just not comfortable giving you that information, which is exactly why I was telling you to build that brand awareness so that people are comfortable with you because they know you've got open houses. They've seen you have just listed and they've seen you show that I've sold some properties. So you're running it you're running the ad in the same area in the same target market on Facebook, and now they're like, yeah, I want my valuation. These people are, I saw them doing all kinds of stuff. So that's why the seller lead capture starts to work even better. Okay. I am going to click here on the top left. We're going to rerun an ad. Let's see where we go real quick. And let's click here to create an ad again. All right. If it'll just work for me. Create new ads. Oh, before we create an ad, let's answer that question about what is a community page. So by clicking this arrow and opening up this menu, you see where it says create page? If you don't have a business page, this is how you would create it. You'd go right over here and you click on local business. And it would be me, the realtor, or Lafayette Real Estate, whatever, right? But down here is another one that's cause or community. And these pages have, for many of our clients, better lead gen capability. And maybe because it's less salesy. And the titles that realtors give these pages are, I don't know, great living in Lafayette. Luxury lifestyle in Lafayette, whatever. It's not about you, it's about the area. And it's about, living good, good living in Cincinnati or whatever. And then you click get started and it says, great, what is it related to? And blah, blah, blah. And you put in some pictures and there you go. And you get some people who like it. And then you can run ads from that. And many of our clients are telling us they're getting great results from the community pages. So that's the community page thing. So let's go over here. You're welcome, Francis. And really, that's all you need to know. You could ask the Mastermind group, but I don't think there's much more than that. You're welcome, Catherine. So I am going to go back up here and say, let's create an ad. But now let's go do the other stuff, the hard stuff, which is getting that landing page ready. So there are many, what's the problem here? Yeah. If we go to the landing page section, there are multiple tools designed to capture listings. Okay. And I'm gonna show you a few of them real quick. For some reason, things are running a little bit slow. We'll give it a second. And while we're here, I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of a, right here is partial to full lead converter. And this is, I'm going to click on it real quick. This is an integration with Cole Information. If you know them, they are kind of a real estate online phone book. They have the contact information of homeowners. And when people come to our landing pages and just give you the address and then they go away, when you sign up for this, you subscribe by hitting that button. We reach into that system and give you this information that you see here. And the nice thing about that is, actually, that's not the information, that's just the list of the landing pages where this works with. But they give you, name, phone number, cell number, even last sale price. And we email that to you automatically. That can be really, really beneficial. You can sign up for it. You can use it for a month. You can cancel it if you don't like it. But once you start getting, where I see our clients landing and where I certainly want every one of you to land is to be spending something like $300 to $500 a month, but winding up with 100 to 200 leads every month. There's going to be a mix. Maybe it's 50-50 or 60-40 of buyers and sellers. But if you're getting that volume of leads, you should definitely be thinking of the full lead converter because you're going to have a lot of contact information. You start doing that month after month, you're going to need to have a database and a drip campaign to start get going. Over here, what is your home worth? Is a really old school landing page, works really well for getting seller leads even today. Most of the new clients, they come over here and they see our new fancy ones, right? And they like those. We have ones for growing family, we have ones for empty nesters who might want to sell their home. But Property Valuation Plus is the place where I like everybody to start, and then after that, you can sort of test out the other ones. Let's see here if I have all kinds of landing pages, and you should create all kinds of landing pages for all of your areas, right? And meaning, I live in Lafayette. 5 minutes away is Walnut Creek. The other direction is Orinda. The other direction is Pleasant Hill, and then Alamo. You should have a landing page for every one of those areas if you want to build your business there. In Lafayette, there's a really cool neighborhood called Happy Valley. And people love to buy homes there. The schools are awesome there. And I want to build a business in Happy Valley. I should have a landing page for Happy Valley. And you do that by going to the landing page dashboard and you type in here, Orinda, and then click save. You can type in Walnut Creek and click save. And you type in Happy Valley and click save. Your farm areas, your cities, your neighborhoods, etc. And every time you do that, you will have that page under every one of these buttons. So you'll have a FSBO button, FSBO page for Orinda, Walnut Creek, Pleasant Hill, all those things, okay? So I see some questions. Let's tackle those. If I'm already registered with Cole, can it be tied to this? No, Catherine, sorry. You can just take the addresses as you get them and drop them into Cole manually. Can you recommend a good reading on setting up your Facebook business page and community page? I can't. I think just I think it's keep it personal. I think a lot of realtors, especially, they like to put in stats. NAR says this and Wall Street Journal says this about mortgage rates, and that stuff is so boring. People don't like that. Business is personal. You can talk about what you're doing. People actually one thing, and let's see. I'll give you a great idea right here. And let's type in Bellingham 360 things to do in. Notice when I type this 360 things, I don't know if you can see it, to do, it's going Austin, Houston, and that's because somebody in Bellingham, Washington, started this years ago. And he's got a Facebook page, 360 things to do in Bellingham. It's probably, I should do that search in Facebook. Let's do that. How many days in the year? 365, that's what it is. This guy basically has a community page talking about everything to do in Bellingham, Washington, right? There's a farmer's market. There is a film festival. 365 things to do. In Bellingham, Washington, right here. This is the original agent who's done this, and this has been copied many, many times. It's a community page. I'm going to guess by now he's got more than 10,000 people liking this page. Okay. I didn't request an action. This is a different page. He had a different page, so maybe he shut that down. But this is really the point. This guy used to have, it may have been a different page, thousands and thousands, I'm sure, And that's because people are on Facebook. They're not there to read market stats. They're there to look at pictures of cats and children and other nonsense. So keeping things that are like relevant to your local market is a great thing, right? Somebody says there's a good tutorial on how to set up a community page. Great. Average cost of Facebook ads, Charles, is hard to get because the cost is different across the country. Also, when you're running ads, you'll see that buyer ads are different from seller ads. That being said, our mastermind group, people answer that. They tell you all the time what they're paying as a pay-per-click. Can you use different emails for your personal and business pages? If not, do you recommend an email? I recommend you keep, they're going to want, Facebook does not want a business page floating off in space to minimize spam. If you have to have a business page, it's going to have to be tied to a personal page. It doesn't mean it shows up. It just means the two are connected in the background. So try not to overthink that stuff. Let's go back to this page. This is what it looks like default. And this is Bel Air, right? This is Bel Air. I got a Bel Air page. And I don't even know why I set that up, but I'm going to go back here and look at my Bel Air page. And the only Bel Air I know is like in Southern California, kind of LA. So when I click see landing page, it looks like this. And I don't know where you guys are, but I don't think any of you live in Bel Air. Let me know if you do. Oh, there's also another Bel Air in, but I see Bel Air, Los Angeles. So let's just do that. You want to go to Google and do this kind of search. And when you do that search, click on images. You can do this in Bing and Yahoo. And you want to get a landmark of Bel Air, right? Maybe it's this kind of thing, this kind of big picture here. But before we step there to that place, we want to click on size, and we want to go to larger than 4 MP. That means that this picture is going to be big enough to fill up an area, right? To fill up the landing page, a desktop. If I hover over this, I don't know if you can see it, it's 4,000 by 2,000, but it's by la.curb.com, and that sounds to me like a realtor. So you definitely don't want to use something like that. That really gets into usage rights, labeled for reuse. That's really the page, and here is a page that is labeled for reuse. It's over on Wikipedia, and I'm going to click View Image. If I live in Bel Air, I'll probably recognize this. So I am going to save the image on my desktop as this one right here. Replace that and go yes. And then I'm going to go back here, and where I said see landing page and it looked like this, I'm going to click on edit landing page. And that takes me to an edit page, and right down there it says upload background image. Double click, go down and save. And give that a second. You can't see it, it's spinning, so I know it's almost done. So now when I refresh this page, I've got a relevant picture of the area. This might be a little bit generic still, right? And so I'm going to dive over and do one more search for one of the offices. What was it? What was it? Summit. I set up a Coldwell Banker office a while back, and I did this call. Whenever I set up an office, I do 2 calls. I do how to use our core tools, and I do how to dominate Facebook for every office that we set up. And I did it. 30 days later, the manager calls. He said, "Vince, we're running all these ads. We're getting all kinds of leads. It's awesome." He goes, "But the crazy thing is that we're getting the most seller leads from this picture in the background." Summit has 25,000 people, small town. This is the old restaurant on Main Street. So this is telling people, random consumers on Facebook, that I'm a local. And I want you to think of that, because I know a lot of realtors, when they're running ads, they like to pick the big $1 million homes and the luxury homes and kind of run their ads. And those don't do so well. You got to think about, how am I going to make people comfortable? 1 is branding, but 2 is saying, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. So for me, this is Bel Air, as close as we're going to get. I don't really know Bel Air, or I would probably choose something a lot more local that means something to the local market. But at this point, there's just a couple things that I like to change. And it has to do with getting, now we're really talking about how do we get the lead. There's a place down here, is landing page text customization. I like to change it, the second line where it says get your answer here by default, to get your answer in less than 15 seconds. But there's one more thing I want you to think about. There's a green button here that says view email. You should look at these tools. When you start collecting leads, or let's say you've got a lot of leads you've been collecting over the years, this message is designed for you to modify, and it's got a bunch of lead capture built in. Your client review page here, a link to your home page there if you want people to look at your properties, but also get your home value. And when you click on get your home value, it takes you right to the same landing page. So if you can imagine this, we can target a zip code in Facebook so that they can see this. We could also target that zip code with a direct mail and say, hey, go here if you like your home value. Free in 15 seconds. That's a great way, it's a great tool that is basically copy and paste from your edit page, copy the HTML, send the email to get you more leads, all right? So I'm gonna go at the bottom and save that page, that message to get your answer in 15 seconds. So if I refresh this, you see it says get your answer here. That's just some default, stuff. Now get your answer in 15 seconds. So for me, I like this and I want to run the ad. All right. So we got about 3 minutes. I'm going to go kind of fast, but I'm going to point out and highlight the differences. We're looking for sellers, so we want to hit traffic. That's because we want, no, cancel. It's trying to push us into lead gen. Cancel. We definitely want traffic. You cannot get sellers that excited. I'm going to call it value, Bel Air, June. You kind of get the idea. Again, nobody sees it, only you, but you need to analyze it later on. And from here, here's the other thing. Remember we did my other one in Bel Air, we did it in Lafayette, but I'm going to type in Bel Air, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Maybe it's one word. Bel Air, okay. Kind of messed up here. So I'm going to do it. This is going to be a little bit confusing, so bear with me. Remember how I was branding in Lafayette? That first ad we ran, and I said change your radius to 0 or to 10 miles. When you're running a seller ad, and here's the big difference, change it to current city only. Okay, we'll give it a second. It might show us if I zoom in on it. It's only going to show this ad to people who live in Bel Air, or in this case, you would want it in Bel Air. But I'm going to run it so that it's just showing it to people in Lafayette. If I have people that live in Walnut Creek that see the ad 10 miles away and they click on it, it costs me money for every time they click. There's a minimum age that you're going to want to choose, right? Especially for a homeowner. And you could also type in homeowners, but I don't recommend it. But edit placements is the other place where it gets totally different. You're going to have to A/B test this later on, but when you're starting, start with desktop only. That's the number one thing that people kind of make the mistake on. Again, lifetime budget always. Now here, I like to run an ad. I'm going to put in 60 bucks. Oh, darn it. Okay. Here's the other big deal. Start your seller lead gen on Fridays and end it on Monday of the same month, same week. This is basically 20 bucks a day. You can, if you go kind of, hustle around listings leads, you'll see our ads, you'll see our tutorials. Scott does a lot, and he'll tell you $5 a day. And $5 a day, just ballpark, when you're trying to get a seller lead, Facebook will charge you somewhere from 75 cents to $1 every click. So if you put in $5, that's a maximum of 5 clicks you're going to get every day. And not everybody that clicks is going to fill it out, right? So I typically recommend 30, but when we first started doing this, our clients were running $60 for 3 days. That's about 20 bucks a day. And they were getting 50 to 100 leads every weekend. When you get 50 to 100 leads, you're pretty much blown away. So that's why I recommend that. You got to manage your budget. You kind of get the idea, okay? Let's go forward. We're going to create the ad. We want a single image ad again, always. And here it's the website URL. So I want to copy this and I want to go back to this page and paste it in there. Click the little blue button that pops up, and then once you do that, it kind of pushes it in. And let's give it a second. And here's where it really makes a big difference of the language that you use. Find out your Bel Air home value now. Nope, that's kind of weak. Let's go back and let's go use my favorite, because this is just so easy to do. This is on the blog post before you log in. 360 homes sold in Frisco in June. High price was that. Get your home value now. Okay? So find out your home value. This is the default. Go down here and say whatever the real number is, right? 400 homes sold in May. The high was whatever, right? And you get it, right? You put it there. There are some other keywords that you want to think about when you're trying to get seller ads. This, you can write this almost only by itself, and this works too. Click here to get your online automated home value in less than 15 seconds. Free. We all still go for free, right? I mean, that's such a powerful word in advertising. So I showed you one ad and I kind of combined it with my own, because click here to get your online automated home value in less than 15 seconds is a very, very compelling, because you're telling the consumer it's online and automated, which is code for I don't have to talk to you, right? Nobody really wants to talk to you that badly, but they would like that information. And it's 15 seconds for all of us that are now ADD, and it's free. So there's a lot of good language here, and you got to use that, okay? Once you run that ad, make sure you got it in your right business page. Yeah, this is my music business page. I want my real estate one. Remember, and remember this too. We did branding ads. If you do branding ads on your business page, you run your seller ads on your business page. If you're doing branding ads in your community page, you run your branding ads, you run your seller ads in your community page too. And you should test them both out, because for a lot of clients, they get more traction that way. You'll notice I have a logo for listings to leads. Some realtors have their picture up there. For some realtors, that works great. For others, it doesn't. You can test it out and see what's working there for you. If you don't know, if you haven't run an ad, when you place the order, Facebook is going to review it, and then they're going to tell you after the ad, you had a successful ad. And all that success means is you spent some money and placed an ad. Doesn't mean you get any leads. Doesn't even mean you get clicks, because they're going to give you in that successful message what was the reach, and the reach means X thousands of people saw it. That's great for branding. But then it's going to say website clicks. And website clicks means, was it 100 or was it 5? Right? A lot of agents run these seller ads on mobile, and people click on mobile, but then they don't want to fill out the page on their smartphone because there's 3 pages. So that's why we want to do this on a desktop newsfeed only. But when you get very few clicks, there's 2 major things that are the problem. This picture is not compelling, or this language is not compelling. And if you need ideas for that kind of graphic or that kind of language, go to our blog or go to our mastermind group. People are sharing ideas there almost every day of the week. So that's my message to you there. Let's see here. Now is a good time for questions, everybody. You can overwrite the Bel Air home values. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay, yeah, guys, that's kind of my story. So I'm going to answer your questions here, and I would load them up if you'd like answers. What's the average cost? I answered that. My listing has been on the market for over 60 days. I want to do an ad line for it. Yeah. I want a buyer. So I do the lead gen for this. Yes. Yeah. You're doing lead gen. Lead gen is for buyers. Okay. Think of it that way. The lead gen option on Facebook is for buyers. The traffic option is for sellers. Yeah. That's fine, Lisa. That's fine. I probably wouldn't put the price in there because holding the price is something that'll get people to fill it out. It's kind of for LL script. We can change that language. Can you show us how? Yeah. Let's see here. So it says here, and again, good time to put in your questions. You know, you saw how I changed this to 400 homes. Right, I did that by filling out a box right here. The display link is Bel Air home values. You might want to get called this anything else, like, I don't know, free home value. Right. If you do that, what? Oh, that's display link. Oh, sorry. There we go. Sorry. News description. Oh, Bel Air home values here. So it's the headline, right? So I'm going to say free home values. And it changes on the bottom, Bel Air to free home values. And it says find out the home value of your Bel Air home, right? And you can change that to whatever you want by going in the newsfeed link description and say, you know, homes are selling fast. Right. Whatever you want to say. And when you change that, well, that changes this under here. Search all properties, you can't change. That's the link, and that's just how that is. Let's see here. Yeah, oh, that's a great question. Yeah, sure. Can you use landing pages for Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter? Definitely LinkedIn, definitely Twitter. Instagram, not so much because they don't actually, they don't give you a hyperlink you can click on. You can put a link in your kind of, what is it, like a profile, right, in your bio. And you can say, if you want your home value, click my bio and do that. I don't hear a lot from Instagram. There's been a lot of chatter about Instagram to build a network. Not hearing a lot of chatter about lead gen, although there's always the anomaly. Ed says, do you have a place for pixel code and Google Analytics? If you click on edit a listing or edit the landing page, and you scroll down, there is not a place for Google Analytics. But you get the analytics from Facebook, but there is a place for pixels, right? For all of you who are, well, I guess there is tracking codes here now, right? So there's tracking codes. I don't really recommend pixels because, first of all, just to master what I've shown you here today is pretty difficult. I mean, it's not difficult, but it's not like it just, it's not perfect for everybody all the time. Barb is on this call. She's been on it a lot with us. She gets on this almost every week. She's in our mastermind group. She's sharing. And there are a few people that are really kind of advanced that can do that. But most of us are really new. We're not that. How many times a day do you hear from a realtor that I am just not that techie? So to dive down that rabbit hole of pixels is something I would never tell a realtor, even if they know about it. Because you know why? Our clients get huge amounts of leads without ever even thinking about a pixel. So knock yourself out, but for the rest of you, not really worth it. Which landing page should I use to have a virtual tour for lead gen for a luxury listing? Do I click on that listing? Okay, that's a good question. It's a bit outside, but I want to answer that because it's a little bit confusing, right? It's not what I told you. So when I tell you use lead generation on Facebook to capture buyers, now the question is, well, I've got a really luxury property and I really want to showcase this virtual tour. If you click on the virtual tour here button, and hopefully this is, oh no, that's coming soon. That's not going to be it. Give me a second, guys. Went the wrong one. If you upload your photographs manually into the system, we create some high quality virtual tours. And these are auto, so let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find where. Yeah, God darn it. Okay. These are auto virtual tours. If you manually uploaded your photographs, you would have this virtual tour that fills up this entire page, and it looks pretty awesome. Then, if that's the case, then you want traffic. You want to drive people to that page to see it. Okay? Even though I told you that normally you want to use traffic for getting buyer or for getting sellers, this time you're saying, hey, I've got something that's really pretty unique and I want people to see it. Well, then you're going to drive to traffic instead of lead gen. Yeah. Yeah. So if you've got your own virtual tour, I still recommend, you see this virtual tour running here? There's a lot of lead capture here. You could get a home value. You could say, click and see all my featured listings. I would get the virtual tour from your photographers, upload it to YouTube, copy the link, put it on, click edit listing or click virtual tour, and you can paste it in, and that virtual tour will run in the background just like this one. This is a professional virtual tour, okay? So let's see the questions here. Okay, but I don't know. Yeah, I have pixels running. Don't know what to do with the info. Yeah, or how to retarget. Yeah. Great, Barb. That sounds like you're halfway down that rabbit hole. Keep going. My marketing team does our own virtual tour. Cool. So what? Do I use lead gen or traffic? If you really want people to see that virtual tour, you got to use traffic. I recommend you get the virtual tour on YouTube and you copy the YouTube virtual tour and you paste it in on the virtual tour button so that that virtual tour is floating around like this, and there's all your lead capture here on the left. And this nice page pops up and captures the lead for you there, all that, okay? Yes, enjoying the rabbit hole, yeah. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I ran long today, my apologies, but we had some really good questions. I'm going to get this recording up on YouTube and in our mastermind group today. So have a great day, enjoy the rest of the summer. Please get back to us, please get in that mastermind group as often as time allows for you. There's so much information. You're welcome, Ed. Again, I can't thank you enough, all of you, to get that, to get those questions in there, because it just helps everybody learn so much faster. All right, everybody. Keep cool in the hot summer. Where is that? Oh, let's see here. Let's see, I see more questions, so we can